Thank you very much, Susan and Martin. I think after this wake-up call, we have 2 days of hard thinking to do. I think tomorrow morning we'll give you another wake-up call from on Takaful and so on, so that we get a proper and realistic appreciation of where we are and where we need to go. But our next session is a presentation by my long-standing friend, Dato Mohamed Hassan Kamil from Syarikat Takaful Malaysia. I regard Syarikat Takaful Malaysia, of course, which is the first Takaful company in Malaysia itself, as probably the moral compass of the Takaful industry. And the ups and downs of Syarikat Takaful Malaysia has been an interesting history to watch. Now that they are on an upward trend, I was just talking to Dato and saying you're looking well enough, which seems to be correlated to your profit performance. So may I call upon Dato Sri Mohamed Hassan Kamil to please come and make his presentation.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all of you. This is the 10th Takaful Summit. You know, I remember attending the first one, I believe, at the Palmer House at the Hilton. That was in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, but this is the 4th summit I'm attending. I've attended the last 3. I went missing a bit in the middle because I was busy in the office, as Brother Iqbal clearly knows. But I'm glad to be here today. When I first saw the agenda, I told my secretary to call Brother Iqbal and said, how could I be the keynote speaker? Because normally the keynote speaker is only reserved for the people of distinguished personality or position, you know, like the governor or the minister. So I'm glad to be given the honor to speak as the keynote speaker this morning. Okay. Okay. All right. A special task force was set up by the government of Malaysia in 1981 to establish the first Islamic insurer in Malaysia. The Takaful Act, which is the regulation for Takaful, was gazetted, and Takaful Malaysia was born on 29th of November 1984. It commenced operations soon thereafter on the 22nd of July, 1985, and it was officially launched by the then Prime Minister, Tun Dr. Mahathir, on 2nd of August, 1985. We became a public listed company where our company was listed on the stock exchange in 1996. At that time, the paid up capital was 55 million ringgit. If you would like to convert this figure into pounds, you just take that figure and divide by 6. Used to be 5, but due to the recent economic crisis and the plunging oil prices, our currency have depreciated from 5 ringgit to 1 pound to become 6 ringgit to 1 pound. So it's becoming more expensive for me to come here, Brother Iqbal. So you have to find a more cheaper destination for us poor Asian countries, you know, to come to Malaysia, to the UK to attend the conference. In 2003, we did another restructuring exercise, which led to the increase in paid-up share capital to 156 million. I joined Takaful Malaysia in 2007, early in 2007, after spending almost 20 years working for conventional insurers and also consulting firms. I'm a qualified actuary by profession from the Fellow of the Society of Actuaries in the US. And for many years, you know, I was watching Takaful Malaysia from the sidelines, wondering how could this company ever survive, you know, for the first 20 years, because it was purely dependent on government-related businesses. credit-related products from government housing loans, and that was it. They had very little presence in the non-governmental sector, and the market share at that time was very small relative to the conventional insurers. It was never a threat to the conventional insurers, for the first 20 years, even though it was established in 1984. I have seen other conventional insurers over the last 20 years have grown to be mega giants, like the Alliances, Prudential, MSIG, Tokyo Marine. They have quite a strong presence in Malaysia. When I was offered a position to join Takaful Malaysia, it was quite a challenge because at that time, I realized there was quite a significant amount of effort that needs to be put in place. Because in my view, the company is all about people and processes, and I have to address both the factors at the same time in order to transform the company to be a player in the insurance industry, not just the Takaful industry, but a player in the insurance industry. So as you can see, at the bottom of the slide, we came up with this tagline that we are the preferred choice for insurance, not Takaful. Okay? Because we want to be competing and fighting with the conventional insurers. I don't want to be the preferred choice for insurance. No, I don't want to be the preferred choice for Takaful because the Takaful business in Malaysia is quite small. I want to be able to penetrate and invade into the conventional insurance market. So the first thing I did in 2007 was actually to recruit the right people for the right positions. And fortunately, due to my many years of experience in the conventional insurance, I was able to recruit some of my old friends to come and join me. There were a few very important strategic decisions that needs to be put in place in the first year when I joined, which includes putting together a new core operating system in the company, which is robust and dynamic, that can help deliver the services which is expected from our customers. This started in 2008, where the core operating system was completely revamped. New standard operating procedures were put in place. New products and services were introduced. It was a complete revamp, not just about the people, but also in the services and the products that we offer. So the first few years in the company, from 2008 to about 2009 and 10, I was purely focused on our internal reorganization. I did not have any interaction with potential investors. There were no sessions held with fund managers and analysts. I was purely focused on putting the house in order to make sure we are ready and prepared to go out there and compete with the conventional insurers. I was not looking to compete with the Takaful companies. I was out there to compete with the conventional insurers because I don't feel competing with the Takaful companies will make a foothold for Takaful Malaysia in the industry of insurance in Malaysia. In 2008, during the economic crisis, I realized Takaful Malaysia cannot continue to survive on the Mudarabah model, which is the profit-sharing element or profit-sharing model, because we were relying on purely profit arising from investment to fund our administrative expenses. In 2008, due to the economic crisis, the investment profit was quite difficult to come by. I realized I don't have enough money to cover overhead, and the company was going down very fast. Because if I don't switch the model to the Wakalah model, where we collect a fee from the premium that we receive to fund the overhead, the company will not be in existence much longer. And I'm glad I did this because, again, in 2015 and now, we are facing another economic crisis, and our profit have plunged from investment in 2015. If it's not for the switch from the Mudarabah to the Wakalah model, I will not be here speaking to you today because we simply don't have the money to fund our operating expenses, which is running in excess of 100 million ringgit per annum. One of the first actions I did when switching over to Wakala was revisiting the agency remuneration, because previously most of our intermediaries were compensated purely based on salary and very little variable compensation. And this is a big difference compared to the conventional insurers, where the agents are 100% compensated on variable basis, purely commissions. So we had to revamp the pricing of all our products, especially the ones that are distributed by retail agency. All the commissions and remuneration structures and incentives were completely changed to be purely variable, where the commission is paid equal to what the conventional insurance agencies are receiving. Because this is the only way to attract the agents to join us. Because nobody wants to sell for Takaful when your compensation scheme is inferior compared to other conventional companies. When the house was in order, I realized I had to change the logo. As you can see, this was the logo when we first started. This was the logo when the company went listed on the stock exchange. In 2009, this is our current logo. In Malaysia, 60% of the population are Muslims, 40% are non-Muslims. And I realized again, the purchasing power for insurance dominantly with the non-Muslims. So in order to penetrate that segment of the market, I had to have a logo without any Arabic, or in Malaysia they call it Jawi, so because that will show that, we are a company which is meant for all. We may be an Islamic insurer, but surprisingly today, a lot of our customers are non-Muslims because we offer insurance. It happens to be Islamic. It's a good value proposition. We are very competitive, or even better than conventional insurers. So that is one of the differentiating factor which I had to position the company to tell the population of Malaysia, you will only buy because the product is attractive and it meets your needs. Okay? They're not buying from Takaful Malaysia because we are Islamic. That segment of the market has almost disappeared in Malaysia, or very small. They don't buy purely because we are Islamic, even though our services or our pricing may be a bit high. That is not the market where we feel, we can continue to sustain for a long time. So I realized we had to change a few of the things in the company, including hiring non-Muslims to work for us, changing our logo to be more dynamic and more appealing to the mixed races of Malaysia. So this is the outcome of what has happened in the last 5 years, resulting from all the hard work my team had put together in the first 5 years. If you ask me when I first joined the company, if we can ever achieve this type of results, I would say it's almost impossible. Impossible. Because looking at the Takaful industry at that time, and what Takaful has done in the first 20 years in Malaysia, I would have never imagined the market would respond to Takaful Malaysia the way it has been in the last 5 years. It is simply unbelievable. Today, we have 7.5 billion ringgit in group assets, shareholders' equity of close to 690 million ringgit. Our profit has grown on an annual rate of 34% each year since 2010 without fail, including last year. We were still growing despite the economic crisis. Our market capitalization have grown from 297 million in 2008 to almost 3.2 billion as at end of last year. Our share price have increased from less than 1 ringgit and 50 cents when I first joined the company to closing to almost 20 ringgit today, 15 times higher. It has made our shareholders very, very happy, and the dividends that we have paid over the last 5 years has enabled all our shareholders to recoup their investment. So practically, they're holding Takaful Malaysia shares for free today because they have received dividends more than the share price of the company. Our shareholders' equity strengthened to hit 689 million. Our dividend rate of 37%, with a payout ratio of close to 40%. We were able to achieve this with only 23 service centers nationwide. When I first joined the company in 2007, we had over 100 service centers in Malaysia, and in excess of 1,600 people. Today we have only 23 and 950 people. A lot smaller, but yet we were able to achieve such phenomenal results. We have over 3 million customers and over 5,000 corporate customers. We are the only company to offer the cashback, and this is our value proposition to all our customers. So if you were to purchase the general Takaful product from Takaful Malaysia, if you have no claims, we give you back 15%. No questions asked. You don't have to fill out a form. You don't have to come and tell us. 1 month after your policy expiry, we will send you a check for 15% of your premium. And we have been able to do that for the last 20 years. Stop. Close. Okay. It's a bit slow. Here we go. The one in the green is Takaful Malaysia share price. The one in the blue is the stock exchange index. So we were able to grow 960%, whereas the stock exchange index was only growing at 10%. This is our market capitalization. It has grown from 1.6 billion in 2013 to exceeding 3.1 billion at the end of last year. We've made a lot of people very rich in Malaysia, because I realized one time I went to a restaurant and somebody bought me lunch. I don't know who this person is. So I went to the counter to pay for my lunch, and the restaurant manager told me, oh, it has been paid already. So this gentleman walked up to me and started shaking my hand and patting my back and said, thank you so much. You know, you have made me so much money. I have bought you lunch. So I became very famous, and that incident happened quite a number of times, because no other company in Malaysia, you know, there's a lot of companies that are listed on the stock exchange, but no other company in Malaysia have enriched their shareholders the way Takaful Malaysia have done. It's unbelievable. You know, our major shareholder, from a small investment of 150 million ringgit, now they are sitting on almost 2 billion ringgit. 2 billion ringgit. You know, so I get a lot of compliments and remarks, you know, from strangers who knows me from the press. You know, they thank me so much because, you know, they have become very wealthy, resulting from holding Takaful Malaysia shares. And no other financial institutions, you know, forget about other Islamic institutions, even conventional institutions in Malaysia have not been able to compete or match the performance of Takaful Malaysia. So as you can see, you know, despite the problems we were facing in Malaysia, you know, with the plunging price of oil and so forth, you know, we were still able to record a small growth for the closing of December 2015. Our profit after zakat and tax have grown by 18%, and profit before zakat by 9%. This is the movement of our assets. I have to apologize, I think there is an error in 2013, but as you can see, from 2010 onwards, we have been growing steadily to 7.5 billion ringgit. The return on equity again is unbelievable. For the last 3 years, no other industry in Malaysia can achieve a return on equity of 25%. We have a significant penetration of market share in Malaysia. Out of all the Takaful companies, we hold a 25% market share. And for general, we have a 19% market share. And today, we are comfortable and confident to approach any multinational company, and they will know about Takaful Malaysia in Malaysia. Unlike the findings of the survey, where some companies may not be comfortable with Takaful, they're not aware of Takaful. What's so special about Takaful? But in Malaysia, because of Takaful Malaysia, they know what Takaful is all about. We have actually changed the perception of Takaful, and in the past, we don't have staff pinching from Takaful to conventional companies. Very, very exception. It will never happen that a conventional company would hire from a Takaful operator. But today, conventional companies are hiring from my company. Again, it's unbelievable. Because of the talent of people that we were able to put together, the expertise has become in high demand by other Takaful and conventional players. So you can see here, in the group family business, we are number one. And we can put our position next to the industry giant, such as AIA, Great Eastern, and Prudential. Just imagine, a company called Takaful Malaysia is actually in 4th place compared to these industry giants. We are the number one company in Malaysia for employee benefits, for group medical, and also group term life. So basically, our key success factors, introducing new enhanced products, expansion of distribution capabilities. We have a very solid financial backing and active management strategy. We have a very robust and dynamic IT infrastructure. In fact, the core operating system which we put together in 2008, due to the significant growth of the company, couldn't keep up with the size of the company, and again we had to replace the system in 2013. We are on the panel of almost all the Islamic banks. All the Islamic banks in Malaysia give us businesses from their credit-related and also non-credit-related products. Previously, we had to call fund managers and analysts to come and see us to promote Takaful Malaysia, because in the past, they feel that the share price was not moving and it is not a profitable segment. But today, without fail, every week we receive at least 2 or 3 fund managers or analysts, not just from Malaysia, but from the US, Japan, UK, wanting to talk to us, to the point where I have to turn them away, because there's just so many of them wanting to know more about Takaful and how did we manage to pull this performance in the last 5 years. Our brand now is well known in Malaysia. Everywhere you go, unfortunately, people know me now because I appear in the press all the time due to the achievements of Takaful Malaysia. We have a very strong investment and underwriting team. I've put together a good bunch of actuaries, accountants, and people who are experts in IT. Our 15% cashback continue to be the dominant force that is pushing our general Takaful products, especially motor, to our customers. So this is what we tell people all the time, you know. You pay 2,600 ringgit for motor contribution, then you have a no-claim discount of 55%. This is your contribution, you know, and then we have the GST, and you pay 1,240 ringgit. And if you have no claim, we give you back 15%. You know, GST was implemented last year in April. So resulting from the cashback, we try to position it in such a way that your cashback can help you pay for GST. So there's no money out of the pocket for them. So resulting from all those good things that has happened to us, as you can see, you know, we have received numerous awards, thanks to Brother Iqbal, since 2013. For 3 years in a row, we have received the Best Takaful Company in Malaysia award in Cairo, Abu Dhabi, last year in London. In 2013, the company received an award from the Prime Minister as the best performing finance sector stock in Malaysia. And we beat all the large conventional banks and insurance companies that are listed, including the Alliances, Maybank, Public Bank, CIMB Bank. Takaful Malaysia beat all of them to become the best performing stock in 2013. Again, we have pictures of more awards. But all the success, you know, we still have a lot of issues and challenges that are currently being faced. One of them is talent shortage. It's quite difficult to get the right people. They are all in high demand by insurance companies and banks. Turnover is also quite high. People move from one company to another. Breaking the perception that Takaful is not only for Muslims, it's open for all. And there's a few new regulatory acts in place. The IFSA, which is the Islamic Financial Services Act, the risk-based capital, and the soon tariff of the general Takaful pricing for motor and fire. You know, those will be the soon to face challenges for the Takaful and conventional insurance company in Malaysia. Expanding the agency force continues to be a challenge because for Takaful, they have to sit for a special Takaful exam. So trying to get the non-Muslims to sit for a Takaful exam, that can be quite a challenge. So from that perspective, you know, the growth in our company relating through the agency channel is somewhat slow. So our current activities, you know, we continue to grow aggressively in both our corporate sector. We see our market share growing. We were able to win over businesses from other conventional companies. Our cashback proposition is still a very prominent factor. We have a lot of strategic partnership and collaborations. Last year, we signed an exclusive partnership agreement with RHB Bank, which is one of the larger banks in Malaysia. So now RHB Islamic will only distribute Takaful Malaysia products. That's it. So thank you very much.